where we're at, TNT.
In the land of footy madness where the crowds collide, Taz, Todd and Egi, we're ready for the ride. Taz rocks the blues with Crips in his heart. Viewers' questions coming now, that's just the start. Goals and speckies in the heat of the game. AFL glory, yeah, it's all the same. TNT Footy, we're living the dream. With Taz, Todd and Egi, we're a winning team.
Or early crow. What's going on, everyone? Okay. Oh, this guy. Oh, very well. You were part of it. Yeah, we did. There was other games on, but I don't think I watched any of them. And then we went down to the pool hall and we thought we were watching a game, and then it ended up being a replay, a gather round. Yeah. Patreon. Beautiful. All down in the links below. Oh no. Can only hear Egi. My bad.
All my hookups. Well, we'll get straight into it now with the games review because we're not starting again. Bad luck. You just missed the jokes we had going there.
I know. How good. I'm half getting my voice back too, boys, just so you know.
Yeah, I'm the same too. Mine was a bit croaky today.
So
I
was actually fine, boys. I was willing at the game, but I was cheering both sides. Remember?
Yeah.
In Adelaide, then I was up in Collingwood. I was doing double cheering.
Absolutely. It was good. It was real good. All right. Well, so as we mentioned before, links below if you want to look at our shop and socials, and Patreon's there, and we're actually looking at doing a giveaway. So members will get first entry.
First Gibbs. So Thursday night, boys, another Thursday night game. We had an absolute cracker between Gold Coast and Hawthorn in Darwin.
Loved it.
And I'll tell you what, you're a brave man if you tip against Gold Coast up in Darwin.
Yeah, I know.
Absolutely.
They're 9-0 now, aren't they?
9-0, yeah. Have not
Hawks
lost.
were coming at the end.
They were, yeah, but too little, too late.
Showed a lot of heart, though, to hold on there, Gold Coast. I thought the Hawks were going to run over the top, but they showed a bit of heart late.
It was the Wizard show early, though.
It was.
He was the only one keeping him in it.
Yep.
It was. And that midfield, Matty Rao, Anderson. You've got Miller that runs in there, mate. It's nearly the best midfield in the comp. There's one better, and we all know who that is. There's only one better midfield, Oregon.
Who's that?
Nick Dackles.
Bulldogs.
Tom Liberatore.
Bulldogs have the best midfield in the comp.
Dale?
We'll talk about him later.
Is it Bailey Dale?
He's off halfback.
Rolly Sanders?
But no, absolute cracker. They actually got a sellout.
The whole group, mate. The whole group.
I didn't say a midfielder. I said the midfield.
Oh.
Yeah, Gold Coast. Pulled a good crowd up there. They're probably going to keep that up there. Well, you'd nearly move them up there, wouldn't you?
Mate, biggest talk. No. But the biggest talking point, Johnny Noble.
Yeah.
1 meters gained.
I was pretty impressed with his score on Supercoach draft, but still got torched. I think I scored 1,175, but still got torched.
Oh, that's brutal. That is brutal.
Lost by 200 points too, as well.
No takeaway from both teams. They both look electric. They're both going to be there come finals time, I think. Both going to be top 4.
I think so. I think so. It's good. Like it was pretty funny. Real and Newcombe pretty much they got the same amount of disposals, one tackle difference. Almost. I know. I was going to say Meta's game was pretty similar as well. So they're kind of similar players, really,
The same player. Yeah.
which is good. So, all right, we'll keep moving through. Let's not talk about this shocking game.
Game of
Well,
the
I
round,
was coming
Sydney
down
versus
to you
Carlton.
to get ready for the next day. So I watched the first quarter. I wasn't really interested, so I started driving. So I listened on the radio, and your mob just didn't show up again, does he?
Mate, the only good thing to come out of this game was Cooper Lord's Rising Star nomination today. It was horrible. I don't know what's going on. Neither team look like being a contender, to be
And
honest.
Heaney got electric light or here.
Mate, Heaney and Warner dominated.
Yeah.
Absolutely dominated. So Heaney in the third quarter had 13 disposals. I think he kicked a goal or two. And Warner was, after half time, just smashed it. It was the Heaney and Warner of old. So, I mean, there's still a lot of injuries. So once they get their players back, you just don't know. They could get on a tear.
Sydney's my danger team outside the 8, I think, only because of the injuries they've got. They've got 6 or 7 injuries that will come back and instantly impact that forward line. The back line will shore up, but those two getting going as well. But you don't know. Is it because Carlton were off and they just got let off the leash? Well, only time will tell, I suppose.
Carlton weren't off. It's just, unfortunately, they've only got one style of gameplay. And as soon as you work that out and cut off the run and gun, we don't actually have anything else.
Got nothing to go to.
No.
But if you're going to bet on Carlton, make sure you make it the first half because they seem to win twice as many first halves than they do games.
Absolutely. This weekend, the versus GWS is going to be interesting.
Ooh, very interesting.
So, all right, not much to say about that game. Let's keep moving through.
Then the game we all went to, we had 4 or 5 of us at this game, the Collingwood Adelaide.
Well, I think there was about 7 or 8 of us, like viewers, and that turned to watch as well. So I think we had Dooley there, we had Doc there, we had Doc and a few friends, and Dooley and
Yeah,
one
there
of
was a
his
few
mates.
of us there.
Yep. So
it was a cracking game till about just before 3/4 time, I think, and then they sort of kicked away a little bit, Collingwood, and
they did, but then near the end there, Adelaide started to claw their way back, but just
but too little, too late. Yeah.
Yeah, Fogarty was good early for the Crows.
He was very good. I was quite surprised how Billy Frampton kept Thilthorpe quite quiet.
Yeah, Thilthorpe just done nothing, and you'd think this would be the time that Collingwood's defense they were decimated, and the 3 tools only really Fogarty that stood up.
Yeah, well, Tex got subbed as well.
Yeah,
I don't think it was an injury sub. I think it was a tactical. So yeah, but the 2 Dacos boys, top disposal getters on the ground, they're great to watch live.
They are, and it's good from the bird's eye view. But we'll touch on a bit later.
Yeah, I thought Nick got held pretty well. I don't think he had a real explosive game. I think the tag really worked on Nick, and then they just sort of relaxed it late.
Yeah, he was better later. Absolutely, Neil Bolland did the job early, but that's because Fly pulled him in the rooms at halftime and said no. There's 6 or 7 guys that he pulled in and said, you got to do something to help him with the tag.
Yeah, but I feel like a lot of contests near close to goal, he's getting 1 or 2 on him as well when he's getting closer towards in that forward 50. They're getting he's getting the tag, plus he's getting one sort of dragging in to go and try and get him as well. So it's leaving one player free. So
well, that's what they say they like to do with his tag. He goes to another one and then lets one run off. So
yeah. I just want to see him get a contested mark.
He had one on the weekend.
No, he didn't.
Did he not get credited? He definitely had one on the weekend.
Oh, did he?
No,
he definitely had one. I think
he had to.
Or did he get a free kick for it?
I think someone else got a free kick for it.
So he had to hand it away. He definitely had a contested mark on the weekend.
Contested marks. Hang on, I've got it up here. Let me have a look.
Anyway, so that game was sort of it was good. Good late.
It was good.
Good crack.
Rain comes sort of halfway through the first half.
Live, so he definitely had a contested mark. I was seeing it with my own eyes.
It's 0 on the stats.
Turtle said the same. He did, but it wasn't credited. He definitely had a contested mark on the weekend.
Oh, it doesn't count. He's got to take another one. All right, next game. We're at Crown by this stage. This game was terrible from a Port Adelaide perspective.
Yep.
We're at GWS Fremantle, but
we can skip that one.
You can skip a game if you like.
They were playing at the same time.
Same time, but GWS Fremantle started, I think, 10 minutes before, so we've got to go on run sheet, does he?
Yep. Sorry, we'll go by run sheet.
And GWS were terrible. Well, not Fremantle. Sorry, I can't say their real name, but
I don't want to butcher all
I
that.
don't want to butcher it either. Yeah. So GWS looked ordinary, looked slow. Don't know. Fremantle just rocked up, I suppose.
GWS,
Several,
that's standard.
but they're hit and miss though. Fremantle, and this Fremantle showed up. GWS didn't, and next week it probably different scenario. GWS shows up and Fremantle doesn't. We don't know.
You don't know. Yeah, and this is the thing. So there again, I think both bottom 8 teams, just that inconsistency is going to keep them out of it. So, but what do we got here? Shy Bolton, 3 goals, 24 disposals. He was good, but again, he's hit and miss. Some
Hit
days
and
he'll
miss,
be
yeah.
good.
Some days he pops off and some he doesn't.
I think he's pretty overrated, personally.
I think he's good in a good running team, and when the team's winning, he's up and about. But I don't know how he goes. He can't make the team win. He's not a game breaker.
No, I agree.
Turtle saying Fremantle, the Bombers of the West.
Yeah,
Oh, wouldn't go that far. I think they're a little bit
Better.
better. Anyway, then we'll go to your game there, Tassie. Port Adelaide, Geelong.
Geelong. They look good.
Hinkley in trouble, yeah?
Danger went out early too. I think. What do you mean Hinkley in trouble? He's already handed in his notice.
Yeah, he's already finished up.
Yeah, but is he going to get to finish up?
Probably not.
Is this what I'm saying? Is he in trouble? Is he gone soon?
I reckon if they don't win,
is the apprenticeship over now? Is it? Sorry, mate, you're gone.
I'll give it to round 15 after the bye.
Oh, geez, you're a bit friendly with me. He's got this week to bounce back, or he's done.
Well, this was a battle of the injuries, though. There were so many injuries in this game.
Yeah,
Horn Francis going down, Dangerfield going down.
Yep. There was a few others. I can't remember who they were.
But Geelong look good. Geelong look electric, and they do look electric this year. They're a real contender this year. I know there's a lot of hate of Geelong in our chat, but they're real contenders.
Stin, Horn Francis, Jones, Dangerfield, and Bowes. Also, I reckon electric's your favourite word, Moisey.
Yeah, me too.
Electric, it is, mate. Very electric.
Bailey Smith again, he's smashing. Do you know what? Don't be surprised if he's a smoky for the Brownlow. He's dominating.
Smokey, have you not seen the coaches' votes? He's sitting second behind Cherry. There's no Smokey about it. He's one of the favourites.
Did not
to
know
win
that.
the Brownlow, mate.
Haven't looked at it.
Cherry, Bailey, and then Gorn in the coaches'
I haven't looked
votes.
at the stats. So yeah, he'd be right up there. Absolutely. All right, keep moving on. Now, what have we got next on the run sheet?
This is Bulldogs Essendon, but we sort of seen this at quarter time and then just went to a bull haul. I think it was 35-3 during that first term.
Yeah. There's no point even watching this game. Essendon were atrocious.
Only good thing was Bailey Dale off the halfback had 49, 1,010 meters gain. I think he broke your record there, mate. He just got a few extras.
He did. The actually Riley West is hitting some form.
Yeah.
He kicked 4 or 5, I think.
He kicked 4 goals.
The big Fen though, and then the Sally.
You're
not big enough, Sally, and he's like a 4'2" midget.
It was goal. He wouldn't be able to do that to many other players in the league.
No.
So I think it's great that he did that. But yeah, Bailey Dale, 49 touches is massive.
It is. Just catch up on Turtles. Put Carr will be gone in 12 months. Time Port will try sign Bucks before they offer the Tassie deal. George Species says, "Hi guys, bit late tonight. Had a late feed. All good, George. Thanks for coming by.
Thanks for dropping in.
What's running the family tonight, George?
Everyone's yeah. So that game was sort of a Liberatore, just running around doing Libber things at his age, and Bont. So you got Bont, Libber, Dale, Ed Richards in that midfield, best midfield as we said, and Kennedy's come over and improved that midfield, and they're the dark horse now. It's Collingwood in top, Bulldogs are right behind. I think everyone's got that way, but I think they're that close. It's not funny, those two now.
Would they re-sign Bevo or wait?
No, they re-sign him. You can't not re-sign him after the year. He's had that many injuries to start the year, and he got them firing in those first 6 weeks. I didn't think they were going to win a game with the injuries they had in the first 6 weeks.
Same.
He got them to like 3-3, or it was 4-2 or something, and now they're exploding. Those players are starting to come back.
But where was this the last few years?
I don't know. I couldn't tell you. They hit and miss.
Do you know what I mean?
But is this because they did get rid of Smith, McRae, and a few other players and brought younger talent in who seems to have helped them? So we're saying they were wrong to get rid of these players, but they've seemed to put them in a better position.
Yeah.
Well, McRae
America-
wasn't really getting the game anyway, and Smith was injured.
Well, McRae he played most of the year, but off the
Half forward.
yeah. So you get rid of him. Smith wasn't playing where he wanted to, but maybe that's because they didn't need him there. You bring in a couple of younger blokes that have really gelled well, and they're flying.
True.
Do you reckon they're playing better without Sam Darcy?
Oh, I wouldn't say that. I'd have him back.
Yeah.
They'd have him back if they could.
Started running.
And they've got Waitman out, probably out for the season now by the sounds of it. And they've got Jamara's out. Or,
he'll get traded.
Yeah. I don't think Jamara's coming back. And as soon as Darcy gets back, they're going to be the team to beat.
Yeah, just man, they've got out as it is. How good that team could be.
Well, their midfield, their midfield getting to Darcy. And Darcy just seems to clunk anything. I could talk about him all day long, but
He's pretty much one of my favourite players in the league. He's excellent. And there's a younger one coming through. Did you guys see that?
Another Darcy.
Oh yes, next year. Yep.
Is that why he's stood away from the dad stood away from media or?
Yeah, his dad. I read an article. His dad finally spoke. He said he actually asked if he could not commentate Sam's games.
Yep.
They rostered him on for one, and he goes, which in fairness they're entitled to do, but it just means he can't really focus because he wants to be there for Sam and watch his
game.
So he just said, look, nothing against Channel 7 or whatever. I just want to spend more time with family and actually be able to watch his games. So,
which is fair because you know as well as I do, like when I used to go watch my brother play and I umpired, I'd end up watching him play and forget to do the role you're there to do.
Yeah,
exactly. So yeah, I think it's good. But Dogs, another father son coming through, and apparently he's shorter than Sam, but still growing. He's 195 centimeters, 16 years of age.
Twin Towers.
All right, next game. We'll catch up on chat. So George has got here Bulldogs playing great football. Turtle, Richards to the middle. Ugelhagen out helps, in brackets, overrated. Lob defense and adding Kennedy made all the difference. And then George, happy to see Kennedy doing well.
Absolute gift. Then we've probably, I don't know if you boys watched this game, but I did.
Well, I did off and on. I was a bit napping a little bit at the time, but
this is I had my nap early so I could watch this. But this was nearly the game of the round. They had that many, stoppages? So the average stoppages this year is 70. This game had that at halftime.
It was a bit scrappy.
They had 70 stoppages to halftime. It was great though. It was like old style footy. I loved it.
Very contested.
Zohar was playing with a burst artery in his foot. Did you know that?
Yes, I did hear that, and got stomped during the game.
Still kicked 4.
Still got 4. That's it. So, to get back to that, where do they keep sausages in these stats?
But I'm getting sick of North Melbourne because we had this deal with Moisey was going to run all these kilometres every time they were goal behind. But I think he's ran 1K in the last 4 weeks. Ever since
I haven't run a K, mate. We've been a draw. It's been good. And we should have won 3 of those games. Effectively, North Melbourne should be in the 8 with the games they've let go. They should be sitting 8.
Since Moisey said he quit footy.
Yeah.
Once you quit footy, you blokes get on the change. You reckon? Because he should have quit fucking 6 months ago.
Someone who's really having a bit of a breakout year is Sam Banks from Richmond.
Richmond, yes, I just got him into the draft this year. This week.
Fantastic.
Yeah, no, flying along, old Banksy.
I think it's like his second I think it might be his third year on the list.
But they've put him into a new position, so he seems to be thriving, coming off out of the middle and playing off half back sometimes. I think he's rotating half back into the midfield.
Yeah, I think you're right. Taranto and Hopper have been good again. Wait, how was Caleb Daniels' game? Because you said the last few weeks he sort of dropped off a bit.
I don't like him because of the player he is.
What do you mean?
Like his game was okay, but he's too attacking for North Melbourne at this point in their development.
Yeah.
He can't be carving off the halfback like that.
But maybe
and against Richmond, if that makes sense. But if he does this against Collingwood and Brisbane, Bobby Hill, if he's playing on Bobby Hill, you can't carve off Bobby Hill. He's got to play more defensive, and he doesn't have the defensive aspect to his game.
Yeah. Did Fisher play?
No, Fisher didn't play. No, it was McKercher and Daniels. And McKercher was the same. He was running. Oh, no, I think he played wing, actually, McKercher. I don't know who. But Dylan Stevens starting to show some good form. That's what recruited him. He's starting to come along nicely, and it was just overall it was good performance. It was a hard-fought win. There were a lot of contestations, and it was two teams that are down the bottom of their rebuild, and that's what it looked like.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, we'll keep moving on. Good signs, though.
Yes,
Good
yes.
sign.
Then we had the, it wasn't back in Nam, it's Nam is back.
Nam is back. Yes, Melbourne fucking firing over Brisbane.
Yes.
And over the top, though. It wasn't as if they got in front and held on.
I was
They
looking
ran
at
over
Brisbane
the top.
with 20 in front of like half time or three-quarter time. I was like, oh, this is over. So I put on the West Coast game.
And Melbourne, just went bang, 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 and they just carved them up.
They kicked
too quick.
They kicked like 5 goals in the space of 4 minutes. It was
too quick. Electric footy.
Yeah, straight out of
I've done that one deliberately there.
We're going to have to get an electric count, all right? We'll start
right.
marking it down. You have to do a K for every time you say it.
Oh, I can't run at the moment. You know me eyes, boys.
We'll get to
About time you boys start running Ks, all right?
Sorry, mate, my team keeps winning.
Well,
Tassie's
hasn't won for 6 months.
I'll have to get drunk. It's the only time my ankle doesn't hurt.
Oh.
Jake Melksham, he's really adding to that Melbourne forward line. He's starting.
It's on SEN this morning too. Yeah, he was quite a character.
And let me just put this back. Has Oliver tagging gotten him some form back? Because he was tagging Lockie Neal this week and had 23 and kicked a goal as a tagger.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting.
He's been tagging the last few weeks, and apparently it's got him back to a bit of form.
Well, King's birthday is going to come up, and that could be very interesting. Coming up against Nick Dacos.
It could be tagging Nick Dacos.
Yeah, Maggie out disposals him.
He's also still allowed Neil to get 30 and 6 clearances and 415 metres gained, though. So I don't think he's tagging too well.
But he had the same tackles. I don't know, but yeah, it wasn't Neil explosive, though. But that's what they mean. Like, Neil's taken him to the ball and gotten Oliver the ball.
Well, that's how
if you would say, I reckon Oliver had the better game.
But that's how Oliver was initially in the side, in what he was in the side to do when he first started.
Was tagging.
Follow the best player around and get the ball. That was what his role was.
Oh, he might be back to that and going all right.
Sounds all right. Sounds right. But Brisbane died. Like, Zorko killed it in the first half and he just died in the second half. Ashcroft, all of them had a really good first half and then they just fell away.
Did they rush Coleman back? He seemed to turn the ball over a bit off that half back.
I don't think so. I don't think so. I think his good is still very, very good. But it's like any player. They're going to take a little bit to sort of get back in the swing of things.
Yeah.
But Max Gorham was elite again, 22 disposals. Excuse me, had an absolute field day against Darcy Fort,
which we all know was going to happen as soon as that change was made. Well, I've got Gorn in our draft. As soon as that change was made, I just put the tick down. It was a win.
Yeah,
didn't have to watch the footy anymore. So Gorn will get me over the line.
All right, okay, but
and then probably upset of the season because we didn't think they were going to win one.
Well, yeah, I think they had a bit more heart into this game with everything that happened over the weekend, but we won't touch too much on that.
Tom,
some people tipped them. What are you talking about?
You tipped him for luck, mate. You said on the show I have to start making these tips to catch up. You had no confidence in them all. You
actually
said,
do you know what? Against St Kilda, I actually was pretty confident.
But they got their first win on the board, and it was for a good cause too.
But it was an easy win. Easy win. St Kilda, I don't know. They look electric. Their best is electric, and then
ding ding
ding ding tick her up. But their best is, and then when they're terrible, they are terrible.
They're woeful, aren't they? They really
are.
No
run, no gun. But when they're playing good footy, that's all they do. They're running for days.
Their small forward's their best forward. He kicked 5 on the weekend. I think he's kicked 20 goals or something for the year.
No, he's coming close to the Coleman leader.
Yeah.
He's actually nearly leading the Coleman.
Where's Dan Butler? Is he injured?
I don't know.
Because he's another good small forward they normally have. But no, they didn't seem like they were playing with a lot of heart. Like the normal ones, your normal contributors were Sinclair, Wanganeen, Miller, Marshall.
Marshall's back to his bestie and he's been a bit off, but yeah, he looked good. And Jack Higgins is one behind Ben King on 28.
That's unreal. Do you reckon Marshall's trying to make a stamp to say we don't need another ruckman?
Nah, he's been good. he's already said he's happy to take the second ruckman, but he is a good ruckman. But TDK, I still don't know what they're thinking. I'd put my money into Butters and Wangaleen Malula before I chose TDK. I can't say the name. If we all know
Just
that.
say Wanganeen Electric. It's all right.
Wangaleen Electric, but
Electric Miller.
I'd put my money into those two players before I went out and spend that sort of money on TDK.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you. I really do. Yeah, and Jack Steele, for the player or the potential for the player and the potential that he's got, he's very inconsistent, unfortunately.
Yes, he is. But a couple of years ago, I was just laughing at George down there too. He must have missed the joke early.
He must have missed the joke early.
Todd says electric a lot, George. So
they're raising me up.
I think it was the Port Power that started him.
It was. Oh, it's funny. If you're watching this show at a later date, make sure you type electric in the comments.
Yes,
electric, get it in there. So West Coast,
get a reach
Coast
out to AGL to see if we can get a sponsor on board for being electric.
West Coast actually looked very good. They had a lot of run. Oscar, Waterman, they're all good.
Harley Reid, did you watch any?
Harley Reid was great. Had a couple of goals and was electric.
Ding.
Ding, the counter keeps ticking.
Oh, shoot me now.
Don't tell me about the counter next week because I'll do it, and just don't laugh every time I do it or it'll make me stop.
We can't help it.
No. But I'm gonna work on something over the next
week.
Work on something.
Yeah. Or just go back and watch it.
Well, that was the last one. So
it was. Maybe do our tips now, boys.
All right, let's get into it. Thursday night.
Oh, it's going to be a great game, this one.
Yeah, GMHBA.
Oh, I was about to ask where it was. I was about to ask where it was, but Bulldogs. Bulldogs for me.
Who have I tipped? Yeah, I've tipped Dogs.
And why are we going Bulldogs, Fuzzy?
Because Dangerfield's out.
Because they're electric.
I think it's going to be a cracking game, though.
It's going to be a very good
I think it's going to be an elite game, yeah. I think it'll be right. Then we've got Dreamtime at the G.
Which I reckon will be another good game.
How good is this, though? Sorry, Egi. First time it's been a standalone game.
Yeah, because normally it's on the Saturday.
Yeah, yep.
So good.
And I think they've picked the wrong year to do it.
Yes.
I agree. Sorry, Egi. I didn't mean to cut you off before.
That's right. But yeah, I reckon it's going to be a cracking game, especially with Essendon coming off that loss. I think they're going to,
I think Essendon's going to be hungry. Richmond's going to be hungry because they just missed out.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's
Richmond
a genuine
been playing
coin flip.
that bad. I reckon it is a coin flip, but I reckon it'll be a very good game.
Yeah, I'm going to go Richmond.
I'm tempted to pick Richmond.
Yeah, I'm going to go Richmond, I think.
I'm on Essendon.
Kelso, hello. Electric Spark. And then Tiger Time. That was an interesting round. A fair amount of bad blood between the Dogs and Cats as of late. That is, Smith up against his old side is going to be interesting.
Yeah, the Smith's going to be. I forgot to mention that the Smith. Yep. They'll get right into it. Then we've got the battle of the battlers. I'm going to call them.
Yeah.
Carlton versus GWS. They're just both flopping at the moment, aren't they?
Yep. Carlton will beat GWS at Marvel.
I don't think so. I think GWS get it done.
Hey.
I think GWS get it done too, but I reckon they're both going to kick more points than they do goals.
No, and we'll be at this game live too. If
we will
wants to come along. We're going to a triple header.
Oh no, I missed that one. I'll miss that one.
You'll miss this one.
Yep.
So we'll be at this game at 12:35 at Marvel. Then we'll be heading across to the G for Hawthorn Brisbane.
Yep.
Who you boys got? I got Hawks after last week.
If Brisbane didn't lose the way they did, I would have picked Hawthorn. But I think they're going to come out with a bit of what's the word I'm looking for?
Bit of
fire. Yeah, a bit of electric spark about them. So I reckon Lions get over. Do they play all right at the G now?
Egi?
Heads Hawthorn, tails Brisbane.
Oh, he's got a coin flip.
Heads Hawthorn.
So 4:15, and then we're probably going to leave that one a bit early, so me and Egi can get across to North Collingwood at 7:35, the third leg of the triple header, and I'm on North. We've won one, we're on 2 in a row, no loss, we're going for 3.
I agree with Tiger Time, by the way, but it's not just as of late. GWS usually do play poor at Marvel.
I think we went to their game last year and they played pretty well, but they didn't. I think Carlton ended up winning, but yeah,
they did.
I think GWS were pretty electric though.
North Collingwood. Geez, this is a tough one, boys.
I've got North penciled in here. Bit of confidence. Boys will outrun the old
I'm
Pies.
getting the permanent marker out and writing Collingwood.
I'm gonna go draw. No, I'm joking. I'm gonna go Collingwood.
Yeah.
Then we've got Freo, Port Adelaide.
This is
It's another tough one because it's not tough because teams are good this week. It's tough because they're all coming off poor form playing each other.
absolutely.
But Freo sort of had the better form than Port from the last game.
I agree. I'm gonna go Freo. It's over in Perth. So.
Yeah, I'll go Freo.
Beautiful.
Adelaide, West Coast.
Adelaide to bounce back and to beat them by 40 points.
Yeah, I think Adelaide bounced back. West Coast had their fun.
Adelaide played real well at Adelaide Oval too. So, yeah, I think Adelaide comfortably.
Then Melbourne down at the G against Sydney.
Melbourne.
Sydney, I think. I'm taking Sydney. Last time I'm taking Sydney this year if they lose. Then St Kilda, Gold Coast.
Is that where's this one?
Marvel.
Oh, so not in Darwin. Okay.
No. If it's in Darwin, it'd be instant. But Gold Coast will win anyway.
Yeah. Saints play good at Marvel.
It doesn't matter. Gold Coast are a different breed.
But,
yeah, I know, but they got beaten by West Coast, so they got a point to prove.
And can they travel?
Yeah.
Can Gold Coast travel?
They've only played once in Melbourne, haven't they?
Oh yeah, unbeaten in Melbourne this year, mate.
I don't know. Are you sure? What do you think?
Don't go on that. But
I'm going Gold
Coast.
I'm going Gold Coast.
I'm going Gold Coast. I just wanted to put up a bit of a
just
fight.
rear her up, mate.
Sorry, Zoe.
Who's catching us up on chat? Do you want me to?
You can.
Tiger time, Giants. Oh no, wait. Hawks should beat Brizzy. Kind of odd they haven't played at the Gabba since 2019. Another team that doesn't travel. Kelzo, if GWS win, it will be low scoring, 100 total for the game. I reckon it will be high scoring.
Yeah, I reckon it's going to be a shootout.
I reckon it'll be a shootout. Tiger time, North have shown some positive signs the past couple of weeks. It's actually probably been the last month of footy that they've played.
We should be on 5 wins, let's be honest. They should have won the last 5. Yeah.
Especially at Marvel too.
George, Blues should have a couple back this week. This is true. Tiger time, I'll go Freo as I trust them more than Port, and I'm leaning towards the D's this week. It's a
tough round just because there's a lot of teams trying to bounce back, and the ones that won are all playing each other. So
that's what I was going to say.
Teams playing in good form, and then the ones that weren't are playing each other.
These are the rounds where you start seeing a bit more separation on the ladder, though.
Yeah.
Like rounds like this. So I'm looking forward to it. I think it'll be a good round of footy. There'll be some great games, but I just don't know which way it's going to go.
Yep.
A lot of them. So, all right. Look, good boys. It's 7:32, and we are up to more.
Good time, mate.
Wait on a sec. I did do the coin flip for Hawthorn, but after just procrastinating about it, I'm going Brisbane.
Oh, he's going back. Back on his word.
That's it. Yeah, one pay for you.
Yeah. No more flipping the coin. I'm just going to follow my heart.
Just follow your heart.
Yeah, absolutely. Your wife's watching, isn't she?
I don't know.
Well, she wants.
If she was, I wouldn't have changed the tip.
No, that's what I mean.
I wasn't allowed to.
All right, Moisey, your controversial call, mate. What is it?
We've got one this week, and this one's been going on for a while. Now, we had deliberate out. I think it needs to go. Deliberate out of bounds. Now, we had one game where it affected the outcome of the AFL. I think it was Geelong rushed like 6 points in a row just to get that win. And the AFL completely overreacted and made this whole rule about deliberate, changed the game. It's upset people for 4 or 5 years now. You can kick a ball out of a pack now, it bounces at right angles, go out, and they call deliberate. You can kick it to the middle of the ground and our ball bounces that way and they call deliberate on you. There was one in the North Melbourne game that I see. It wasn't even North Melbourne. It was out of the pack, was smothered.
I saw that.
It
was
smothered out of bounds and they called deliberate. Not on the player that smothered it, on the bloke that kicked it into the player that smothered it, they called deliberate out of bounds on that. We're giving the umpires...
And it was like 20 metres up the field.
Yeah, went right angled off the player and went... So it was... And we're putting too much pressure on umpires. They've got to decide the deliberate out of bounds. We're making them affect the game too much is where I'm trying to get at this. I think we go back to the old way. Out of bounds is out of bounds. No deliberates anymore. Throw it in. Get that bit of heart back in. Maybe the 0.1 to stop the Geelong, that would have been enough to stop it. If you make just that one and then leave the rest of the field alone.
Yep. I think I think they've just got to be a little bit more lenient with the insufficient intent.
But then you're still relying on someone's opinion.
That's okay though. I
I
think they
think
need
if
to stop going to the umpire upstairs and just trust their gut. And if they make a bad call, they make a bad call.
Yeah, but that's more for the points and that and the goals and that. That's
Even
more
with the out
score
of bounds.
reviews. We'll get a, but the out of bounds they don't go upstairs for that.
Yeah.
What about the out of bounds on the full against McGovern where it clearly hit the ground?
Yeah, but see, if they had gone upstairs, they would have known that.
That's right.
We
So what
trusted
do they do?
umpire, so you let that go. To the deliberate though, it needs to go. It's ruining the game sometimes. I've seen 3 kick and chases where they tap the ball in front of them to run onto, just about to get the ball, it goes out of bounds. They call deliberate. It's like
Yeah,
he's not deliberately kicking that out of bounds. He wants to kick it past the player and recover it. But because it
agreed.
bounces weird and goes out, they pay deliberate. I think the rule needs tweaking, or I think it just needs to go. I don't think it has a place.
It's definitely a controversial call. I disagree with it. I think there is a place for it, but I think the umpires need to really understand what the player's intent is.
But how do you read someone's intent?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's what you're making umpires become mind readers then. Whereas if it just goes out of bounds and you throw it in, 50-meter big, it goes out of bounds, throw it in down there.
But you look at back at like the 80s, 90s, or it might have been mid 2000s, players were just constantly just stepping over the line all the
And
time.
just smothering it out, that's fine. Bring
But
that
then it
back.
just slows the game right down, and that's why they.
I know why they've done it, but they've gone too far with it. So
Yeah,
either it
I
needs to
agree.
go or we need to tweak the rules because you cannot have a person kicking it out of the pack, even just the ones out of the pack. Quick snip out of the pack, bounces right angle, goes out deliberate.
Yeah.
What do you want him to do? He can't control which way the ball bounces.
There's got to be a bit more common sense about it because that there was some horrible calls. Yeah, like you said, players on Friday night were chipping it in front of themselves. Charlie Kerner got done, and one of the other Carlton players got done.
And it was Cripps, I think I heard on the radio.
Cripps, yeah,
But
yeah,
it was he didn't intend to go out of bounds. He wanted it to stay in because he was off. If that
correct.
ball stays in, he's off running, streaming into goal. So if there's no intent to get that ball out of bounds.
That was both of them. Charlie was the same.
Yeah.
And that's where we're trying to get momentum, and it just sucked it all away. So I do agree. I think that needs to be tweaked.
Oh, I just reckon scrap it. I reckon you give the umpires too much control of the game.
What about going the other way? Last touch free kick the other team, no matter what.
That's another option.
That's what they do in
Then
AFL
what do you do
between
that
the arms.
if a smother? So a smother out of that contest, who's the ball go to?
So I think, and I'd have
That's
to look,
still a throw in.
I think with AFLW, if you're not sure, it's a throw in. Otherwise,
But we are sure. I kick it into someone that goes out of bounds.
Yep.
It's
Whoever
my ball.
it comes off last, opposite team's free.
So there's no point in smothering again then. You might as well just let him kick the ball down the ground. Yeah. It'd need tweaks. It'd need tweaks the same. So we're going to end up going again. So this rush behinds caused this whole new brand of football. So if we tweak it more, it'll change the game completely again. And we're only just getting sort of used to this.
What about on Saturday in the Collingwood game, the Adelaide player just walked behind as a point when there was no Collingwood player with him?
And there was another, that's the other point I was going to get at this. There was players deliberately like running in front, tapping out, and it's deliberate as you can get. And they were calling throw-ins or grabbing the ball and running out in front of a player. You've got the option to go in. Why? Like, it's not deliberate. It's just whatever the umpire feels like. Like, I don't like it. I don't like the rule.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a controversial call. Let us know in chat. Oh, actually, hang on. I'll catch up on chat. Welcome to the comment section. An unpredictable elliptical ball. If it's kicked out on the full, sure, but if it bounces, can't really argue with the laws of physics. Yes, that's right. George, piss poor rule.
Yeah, see, George is on my side.
Also,
Listen to your dad, Tay.
The umps need to improve watching the GWS at the ground. There were so many missed calls for both games, and then calls for holding the ball one way that don't get called 2 seconds later for the other way. The umps are a joke at the moment. We were having the same conversation, the same arguments last year this time as well.
Well, I think it's because of the more umpires that are on the ground now. So I think you at some point you're getting one red one way, then at other point you're getting red the other way.
And they overrule, don't they? They're overruling each other, and then they argue with. Whereas back with the 3 umpire system, it was his call.
That's exactly right. Though they are not agreeing on some of the decisions that are being made, and overruling each other, like you just said. Like it's stupid. But their job's very hard as well.
It's very hard, and that's why I'm saying this is making it harder. We're giving them a hard job and saying, now be a mind reader and guess what they want to do, and that's part of your job now. In a split second, you got to decide whether he was kicking that out of bounds or just clearing the ball.
Yeah, just go with your gut.
All right, that's it. Now it's time for Woo Girls Wowee. I finally nailed that. It's taken me 6 weeks to get that right, but we finally got there.
Let's get it. All right. It's time for broadcasting. I did mention it last week. I've been wanting to talk about this for a few weeks now. But when you watch the F1 or the V8 Supercars, you can choose what camera you want to watch. You can even go split screen on KO and have multiple angles up. Like you can go in with the driver. You can have like the map going as well. And have you guys ever seen any of this?
I have one.
Yeah,
AFL
I
years
have.
ago.
Yeah, AFL used to have it.
Yeah, I know. Why'd they take it away? I don't understand. But I do. I want it to come back for the AFL. I want to be able to see the defensive setups, the work rate of players going from one end to the other. How good would it be to be actually like you could have it look at the setups, and coaches in the local leagues could even use those videos to show players setups, how to attack them, how to defend them, and even I know some of the I don't even think of what they're called now. That call the games, or the people that review
Commentators
review the games. They even go through and show you what things like what teams are doing here and here and here. But how good would it be if we could have access to that?
Yeah, so we used to have it, and I used to love it. You'd watch it and just even like the dots. They used to have the dots on a mini screen below the TV, and you could see where the players were.
Yep.
Just little dots running on the field. I thought that was great. I don't know why they got rid of it.
They've got it. That Telstra tracker. That's what that is.
Yeah.
And obviously it tracks their heart rate and speed and kilometers and everything, but that's what they could do those dots with. And I love that camera above the goals where it's looking down on the field.
Yep.
And you can just watch them. They just move in waves.
Yeah.
And that's what Kingy and that use on. Yeah, and that's what the Kingy and that use on first crack.
Yep.
That's a good one, Egi.
I reckon. Yeah, I want to have those video access to it.
Like 100%.
I used to love it. I used to love it a couple of years ago when they had that. You'd sit there and play, but I love it.
All right.
Me too.
Am I going to hunt on the internet? We might be able to find something.
That was like press red for Ed and
yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah, all those ones.
You could have like Judd Cam and all those sort of things where you just follow one player if you really wanted to. The best thing about it though is you could actually mute the bloody commentators.
Yeah. That's what I like about when you had the app, you could go through and select which commentators you want to listen to.
Which ones you want to listen to?
Yeah, absolutely. No, that's a good one, Egg.
That's another good one. Yeah, I like that one. I actually agree with that one. Bring it back.
All right, now tipping. Oh no, wrong screen. Oh no, wrong screen again. Jesus Christ, I'm going back. See. One weekend on the piss and I can lose my mind.
Lose all control.
All right, we jackpot again this week because no one got it. Everyone got 6 out of 9 this week. It's Triple R Kumar still out in front, Big Jam in second. I think Oscar Kilo down there in 6. He's a friendly name, I remember. Magpies at number 12 as well. But yeah, we jackpot $120 this week. So if you haven't yet joined tipping, check the link below in the bio. First place is $250, second place $100, and third place $50, with obviously the $20 jackpot each week with a big $120 up for grabs.
And get in there too, because the last one that went off was just a random that joined for the first week.
Yeah, it was. So and yeah, we're getting close to buy rounds now, so it's going to be a bit easier to get.
Bit easier to get 6 from 6 than 9 from 9.
Yep.
Good work, Moisty. That was electric.
Very electric, mate. That's how we roll here. Oh, now we didn't get any viewers' questions, so I think we're going to do a bit of a different segment, Tassie. If you want to take it away,
I do. Yeah, first time actually we've had no questions. Normally we get at least 4. So
we were out and about with everyone though, so maybe we
Yeah, true. Very true. So all right, we'll bring up the ladder and we'll go through it. So what we're going to do, boys, we're going to go through the top 8. Actually, we're going to go through the whole thing, and we're going to talk about if we think what teams we think will drop out, and what teams we think will go in.
Do you want to start?
I'll start mine.
Start from the bottom and work our way up.
We can do that.
Well, I think if we start at the top, we can just basically say lock or not.
Yep.
Oh well, mine's very easy. Geelong above lock.
Yeah, probably.
Top 7
right
is
there.
locked.
You're probably
Top
right there.
7 is locked. I don't think the top 7 will drop out. and I can't see anyone from the bottom 12 kicking GWS either. I'm pretty sure the AFL top 8 is a lock, which is different from last year.
I think the GWS form was sort of standing up against Carlton, Sydney, and Melbourne sort of coming into a bit of form. So I think it's one of those three that could take GWS a spot. Maybe
but I think that's the only spot that we're missing. I don't think anyone else will pop.
Yeah, unless
there's a carnage with
something
injuries.
drops out or something. Maybe.
So we'll go through it anyway, because that's what you want to do. Collingwood, I've got them a lock.
Yeah.
I've got them
Absolutely.
top 4 lock.
Yeah, top 4. I reckon swap Hawthorn and Bulldogs, and I reckon that's your top 4.
Yep.
So
Yeah,
Collingwood,
I'd agree with that. Yep.
Collingwood, Brisbane, Suns,
The
Bulldogs.
only one that maybe Brisbane might drop out with their form lately.
I think
It might be
possibly.
Collingwood, Gold Coast, Hawthorn, Bulldogs that get in there. But they're your top 5.
I reckon Dogs finish 2nd or 3rd.
Yeah.
Out of the top 4. And
they might
then
even get top spot.
Yeah, they're coming. Yeah, real hard. They're 8 points behind. But that's only really 2.
I can see Collingwood. I don't know about this
resting.
week, but I can see Collingwood going down to Hawthorn next week. Then we got Melbourne week after. Yeah.
also remember Gold Coast has got a game in hand.
They've
So
got
they
a game in
could-
hand. That's it. They could be effectively on top at the moment because that game in hand is against Essendon. So
And they got better
effectively
percentage.
win that one. Yeah.
So they should actually be in first spot.
Yeah, beating
Yeah.
Essendon, they should be on top of the table.
Yep. So
No, they're definitely not dropping. I don't think Brisbane, and that's going to be scary if they finish top of the top 4. They get home final all the way through until
Gold
the
Coast.
grand final. Gold Coast.
Yeah.
That could be a scary trip up there to play finals.
But then they'd get smashed in the grand final, I reckon.
I don't know. On chat, Brisbane for me are the most likely to drop out of the top 4 so far. I believe that too. Yeah,
Yeah.
I reckon Bulldogs go in and Brisbane come out.
Yeah, Hawks are still very good. It's a great top part of the ladder. It
So
really
the top 5's really great, but then we get to Geelong's another one that could maybe attack in there.
Yeah, but
The
I think
form they've got.
depending how long Dangerfield's out, because I
He's the barometer,
I
isn't
think,
he?
yeah, I think Collingwood had Geelong beat until Dangerfield stood up and that game on his shoulders and won it for him, I reckon.
Yeah.
He's the barometer. So them and Adelaide are hit and miss, Geelong and Adelaide, seeing how their teams hold up. But I don't think they're going anywhere. In
Yep.
my opinion, I think those two stay in. It's a complete different season to last year, isn't it? Last year we're talking 14 teams could make it.
Well, yeah, this stage.
Technically we still can, but from the form we've seen,
Yeah.
we're pretty confident on these teams.
We're
Yeah,
confident on the top
absolutely.
7. And then GWS is the only weak link in the 8, I think.
And I think going from GWS to Sydney, taking Fremantle out, they're probably the only likely ones that could potentially make it. Oh, actually,
I reckon
not
Tanam.
Essendon. No Freo, no Essendon. So I'm going to say GWS, Carlton, Sydney. That's it. Oh, and
I
Nunn.
reckon Nam, GWS, Sydney, Fremantle on a good day.
Yep.
And Carlton on a good day. Essendon has still got a game in hand too.
Yeah, but look at the percentage. The percentage is a bottom 5 team.
And did just get decimated. So I don't think Carlton. I'm nearly put a line through them as well.
I'm not yet.
On the form I seen against Sydney, I said whoever lost that game was out. And I had Melbourne out, but after their win over Brisbane, that puts them back in the hunt.
But we're
And
saying
they've
that
won the last 3.
We're saying that every second week at the moment, though. Is, line
true.
through Carlton, then they come out and play
But
really well.
Nam have hit some form. They've won their last 3.
No, they haven't. They lost to
No, they haven't.
Hawthorn last week.
Yeah.
They?
They've
Why has it
won
got
the
1
last 4
3?
out of 5.
They've won
Last 4 out of 5, yeah. So
Yeah.
they've just bet second on the ladder. So, but I don't know. Carlton were very disappointing from what I read. Sydney is still disappointing. So I'd nearly say I reckon it's a lock. I don't think anyone's catching GWS either.
No, I do. They're only 5 and 5.
Yeah.
So, and they've lost 4 out of their last 5.
This is true.
So
But
if you
I
say-
don't think. Yeah, but I'm looking at the teams chasing them. That's more. It's not that GWS are performing. It's the teams behind them are stumbling as well.
Yeah.
They're
Well,
stumbling just as bad.
It's really up to this week when Carlton played GWS, they could literally take their spot.
Correct.
Exactly right. Yeah. So that
Correct.
winner of the game, even Wallow Fremantle, they showed something on the weekend. So they did beat GWS on the weekend. So
But I don't think I think whoever finishes in that 8th spot. They're not. They're just making up the numbers at this stage.
Well,
So the
you look
current
at it,
form.
they're going to play Collingwood, Brisbane, Gold Coast, Hawthorn, Bulldogs. One of those sides is going to be fifth.
Yep. Yep. Exactly. Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, we're 10 rounds in, so we've had a really good snapshot of what teams are. Some of them we've still got no fucking idea because they're so inconsistent. But
10,
some of them,
10 and a quarter.
their best is really good, but their bad is really bad. So yeah,
Even St Kilda, they're like that. Like their best, they can beat anyone in the bottom 12.
yeah.
But they're really bad. They can lose to anyone in the league.
But also remember after the bye last year, there was a couple of teams that just went on a tear, and that can happen.
Yeah, Hawthorn,
Can,
Collingwood,
yes. Yep.
Sydney.
Exactly.
And Sydney, that's why Sydney's the dark horse too, because they always do it. They always prime for finals and start charging late in the season.
Yeah.
Brisbane done it too.
Normally they do enough to sort of hover around that 7 to 10 mark though.
And then explode, yeah.
Yeah.
But that's where they are now. They're sort of equal 11th, nearly equal 8th.
True. Tiger time. Brisbane for me are the most. I know we read that. Crazy how Brizzy could not smash West Coast or Richmond, drew with North and lost to Melbourne. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Maybe they just rocked up expecting to
Maybe
win.
they're just a bit of a hangover. They're trying not to go too hard too early. And we'll see them late in the season. If they're still doing this in round 18, I did read George's. If they're still doing this in round 18, we'd be a bit worried. But now I think they're just sort of getting the wins they need to and
just banking what they
ticking
can
along. Yeah.
George has got here. Carlton going to flick the switch and become electric and finish top 8.
I hope they do for all these Carlton supporters, but on what we've seen, you can't 50% of your games you can't win.
Well, and this is the thing. You need to win more. I think you need 13 games to make top 8 now with the extra rounds. So a lot of we've got Carlton. So Carlton, Sydney, St Kilda, Melbourne and Port need to win another 9 games of the last 14.
And North have got to win another 11, just get going.
Yeah, we'll go with that. Yeah, so it's going to be interesting. Going to be interesting finish to the year.
Very just for that 8th spot, though. I think the top 7 sealed.
I don't know. I don't know.
But then you could have a complete collapse from any one of those clubs.
Well, that's right. Something could blow up internally, and
we'll talk in 5 weeks. And Collingwood's on the bottom, Brisbane's fault down to 4th last, and North and Richmond are on top, and we've just completely flipped.
Well, yeah. When you think about it, you got Geelong going up against Western Bulldogs. We're saying Western Bulldogs going to win that, so that could see Geelong come out of it. Oh, well, not in their percentage raters, but.
No, I can see them drop down to that pack though.
Yeah.
Unless Dogs beat them by like 100, which won't happen. But
even that, I don't think it drops their percent enough.
Can I just make a comment on Geelong's ruck situation and Blitzarves dominating the last couple of weeks?
It should be just rucking, shouldn't he?
Well, absolutely.
Why are you bringing Stanley in? Just leave Blitzarves in there.
He's got to be the best utility in the league, doesn't he?
Oh, he can go anywhere.
Literally.
Play anything. And they've got a little wing set up too, where it's a wing forward and I forget what other, maybe a midfielder, and they never know where he's playing. So he could be in the back line, floating through the wing, and then all of a sudden he's in the forward line on a 4-foot-tall winger.
Yeah, exactly. He's such a handy player to have for Geelong. Such a handy player, but it'll be interesting to see where we all finish up, boys. I just wanted to, touch on that.
Touch on the 8. Well, we're nearly halfway through, so it's a good time to get in.
It is, absolutely. All right, maybe during the bye rounds, because we're going to have a bit more time up our sleeves, maybe we start reviewing our predictions.
Well, that's what's the plan. That's what the Woo Girls Wowee. I did mention it a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, that's what we were going to do.
Yeah. But yeah, so make sure if you see the ad up on Instagram, send in your messages, or even if you want to come on the show, we're always looking to interview people.
If you want to come on and give us a live question.
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, those in chat, thank you so much for starters. But what would be better? Do you having the questions where you type and you submit, or submitting a voice question? Let us know, because happy to change it up a bit as well.
And don't forget to follow the Facebook, TikTok, Instagram as a shop, and Patreon. Make sure we get behind that. Tazzy's done a bit of work setting that up. So
make sure you get on our socials. They're looking very electric.
Electric.
Last but not least, please like the video, subscribe, share to any friends or family that love footy. And if you do, tell them that TNT are amazing. We're explosive. No, I'm joking.
We're electric, not explosive.
Electric explosions. All right.
It's another. Well, it was a pretty good round of footy.
It was a great round of footy, actually. Looks like it's going to be an even better round this round.
Yeah, I'm so looking forward to Thursday night.
So looking forward to it. But yeah, make sure you put your tips in. $120 up for grabs this week.
Woo! Let's go.
Let's hope next week's an explosive round of footy.
Yeah.
See you guys.
These all.